So feel free to find your just nice seated posture for our opening of class today. Legs crossed or extended, I'll leave that up to you. And when you are ready, just gently draw your eyes closed and we'll meet up there. And once you're in your seated posture with the eyes drawn closed, begin to establish your posture by sitting nice and tall, stacking every vertebra one on top of another, eventually lifting through the back of the neck and the crown of the head. Allow the face to relax, the shoulders to melt down the back body, and soften the front of your body, the chest, the belly, and relax your legs. Allow the arms to just kind of hang by your sides, and eventually tune your awareness towards feeling the breath in the body. Begin to feel the inhales and exhales and just notice where you feel them within. Allow the jaw to relax and simply observe how the mind feels. Can you let go and simply allow yourself to be with the breath? Release attachment to any thinking tasks, anywhere that the mind wants to be outside of here and now. Allow the mind to begin to settle, almost like a feather in the wind, slowly floating towards the ground, and eventually finding a resting spot on the ground. Allow the mind to do the same. So all those thoughts are almost like wind pushing the feather in different directions. But can you allow the feather to reach the ground? In other words, allow the mind to find the breath. Feel the breath in the body. Let everything else go. Allow the breeze, the wind to still. And take a couple big breaths, just allowing yourself to feel the inhales and the exhales in your body. And just as though when a feather lands on the ground, inevitably another gust of wind will come to take that feather away. And that's okay. The feather will go where the wind takes it. Eventually it'll land again somewhere else. As with your mind, the mind will begin to think, and that is okay. We're not here to stop thoughts, but to simply land in another space, to find our way back to the breath again. So take a couple moments, be with the breath, feel it in the body, and if you notice yourself being whisked away, simply come back when you're ready. Take another big breath or two, just letting the mind settle within. And once you begin to feel grounded in the breath, gently begin to peel the eyes open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. Pause there and continue to feel the breath in the body. So breathe deeply. Though the eyes are open, the gaze is inwards. Feel the breath. Today we will be working on stretching the neck. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, reach the hands out and around. Palms will touch at the top and then interlace the hands. Bring them behind the head on the exhale. We're going to do seated cat-cow. However, we're going to pause in each kind of opening and closing and really work those. So when your next inhale arises, can you lift the chin, press the head back, and then spread the elbows to opposite sides of the room. Now notice here, we're going to pause here for a couple big breaths, that we're not puffing up the chest, but keeping the rib cage pulling down towards those upper hip points. So pause here, breathe deeply, and relax those shoulders down away from the ears. So you should feel the chest opening and the shoulder blades pulling towards each other on the back body. Let's pause here for a couple more breaths. Take about 2 more, relax your jaw. 1 more big breath. On your exhale, begin to look down towards the belly button and then bring the elbows towards touching. Again, we're going to pause here and breathe. So we're trying to avoid rounding in the upper back and really tucking down, but instead keep those shoulders stacked directly over the hip points and simply round the back of the neck. Now, as we're here, make sure you're breathing, but maybe you just kind of rock the head side to side, and maybe you'll get a yummy stretch in one position, and you just pause there. But again, keep the jaw relaxed, the shoulders softening down the back body. We'll be here for a little bit longer, so stay with your big breaths. Explore the back of your neck, and just breathe into it. Continue to relax the shoulders down the back body. Stay lifted and tall along the length of the spine. Let's take 2 more big breaths. 1 more. On your next inhale, slowly come back up, lift the head, and then exhale, release the hands down towards the legs. Good job. If you need to kind of move the head a little bit, feel free to do so. We're going to work into stretching the sides of the neck next. So on your next inhale, sit up super tall, crown of the head pulls up. On the exhale, allow the left ear to drop over towards the left shoulder. Now if this feels like enough for you, you're going to stay right here. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you're going to take your left hand and reach across the body and just gently allow the hand to kind of rest on that right shoulder. So you might give it just a tiny little pull, pulling the shoulder down away from the ear, and you should feel an exaggeration of the stretch along the right side of the neck. So again, pause here. Maybe you play around with looking more down towards the ground or sending the gaze up towards the ceiling. Soften your jaw as much as you can. And again, breathe. So notice where your mind is at. Breathe deeply, a couple more big breaths. Again, continue to stay lifted in the chest, the back body. 1 more big breath on this side. On your next inhale, come back up, release the hand, exhale, same thing other side. So inhale, sit up nice and tall, exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Again, if you want to pause here for a couple breaths the whole time, feel free to do so. If you want to go 1 step further, you'll take the right hand, bring it towards the left shoulder, place it there, notice how that feels. Maybe you just gently kind of pull the shoulder down away from the ear. Nothing extreme, be gentle with yourself. But again, you'll feel a nice exaggeration of the stretch on the left side of the neck now. And you can play around again with looking down, looking more upwards, maybe even tucking the chin towards the left shoulder. Feel free to move around and explore the neck, but continue to breathe deeply. Couple more big breaths here. Breathe through the stretch, relax your jaw. And again, continue to stay lifted through the spine, so every vertebra stacking one on top of another. We're simply working into the side of the neck here. Let's take 2 more big breaths. 1 more. Inhale to come back up to center, and then exhale, release that hand down. We're going to give ourselves a little neck massage next. So I'm going to demonstrate kind of facing you, and then we'll do it together. But essentially along the back of the neck, you're going to bring the fingertips to touch, and you're going to press into the neck as the neck presses back towards the hands, and then kind of pull across. And then you're going to lower a little bit, same thing, press in, pull across. So I'm going to do it with you as well, but just kind of wanted to show you in front of my neck before I go behind. But on your next inhale, bring your hands behind your head, and then place the fingertips at the lowest part, kind of where the cranium meets the top of your neck. Press in, and then on your exhale, draw across and press the neck back towards the fingers as you pull towards the sides of the neck. Inhale, bring it just a little bit lower on your neck now. Exhale, press in, pull across towards the front. Keep working down the neck and feel free to move at your own pace, maybe 1 or 2 along the length of your neck. Let's just see if you can find 1 more lower point, maybe on the upper back at this point. And then from here, once you hit your lowest point, just drag forward and just kind of pull over the shoulders. Close the eyes, take a breath or 2 once you've completed that, and just notice how your neck feels. Once you're ready, gently draw the eyes open, and we're going to make our way to tabletop, hands and knees. So flip yourself on over, tabletop position, hands and knees. You have two options. We're going to do a couple neck stretches. You can either do them in child's pose, sinking the hips back to the heels, or if you're feeling like you want more rest, you can simply lay on your belly and lower yourself down towards the mat. So these stretches will work on either posture, laying down, or child's pose. So find what works for you, and then we'll meet up there. For the first neck stretch, we're simply going to lower the left ear down towards the mat. So you're going to sink the left ear down till the side of the head rests on the ground. If your head doesn't make it to the ground, you can stack your palms and rest your hand on the palms. Or again, you can always lay down on your belly and rest there. So pause here for a couple big breaths, allowing the shoulders to relax down the back body. Breathe here, just allow yourself to melt towards the ground. We'll pause here for a couple more breaths. Again, notice where your awareness is and come back to the breath, just like the feather in the wind, landing and lifting up again. Find your landing space within the breath. Let's take 2 more big rounds of breath here. 1 more breath. And then we'll simply flip over to the other side. So inhale, once you're ready, lift the head, look towards the center, and then exhale, lower the right ear towards the mat. And again, we'll pause here for a handful of breaths, but just let yourself sink down. Again, if it does not feel comfortable to do this in child's pose, please simply just lay on your belly. Maybe you even stack the palms while laying on the belly and rest your head on the hands. Just find what works for you. This should feel relaxing, like a nice stretch. Continue to breathe deeply for a couple more breaths. Let's take 1 more round of breath on this side. Great job. On your next inhale, lift the head up, look towards center. You have a couple options here. The deepest option is going to be looking up and allowing the chin to rest on the mat. If you want to go to like a less deep version, you can stack the palms and rest the chin on the palms, or you can even put the elbows on the mat, make a little tabletop with your hands, and allow the chin to rest in the hands. Essentially, we're opening the front of the neck here, so find what variation works for you. Breathe deeply once you get there, and you can, again, totally do this laying on your belly if this does not feel comfortable for you. Pause for a couple more breaths. Really allow the shoulders to relax down the back body. Breathe through the throat. Relax your jaw. And take about 3 more big breaths. Stay in your body. Feel what these postures, stretches feel like. 1 more big breath. Great job. On your next inhale, lift the head up off the ground or the hands, and then just gently walk the hands back towards you. Swing the legs around in front of you, and we'll meet back in a seated posture. So again, find the seated posture of your choice. If you want to do any other neck movements or stretches, feel free to kind of roll the neck around or throw it in there. Find what works for you, and when you're ready, we'll just meet up in a comfy seat with the eyes closed. Take a couple big breaths, inhaling space and exhaling any excess energy that no longer serves you. Take a couple more really big breaths, cleansing the body, relaxing the mind. And eventually allow your body to simply breathe itself naturally. Let go of the conscious hold on the breath and begin to relax your body from head to toe. Start by softening the forehead, relax the face, the jaw, soften the back of the head, the ears. Relax the front of your neck, the back and the sides. Allow the shoulders to melt down away from the ears as a wave of relaxation ripples down the arms and out the fingertips. Relax the back body as you stay tall and lifted. Soften the chest, the heart center, and the belly. Allow the sits bones and hips to sink towards the ground and relax the legs, softening the feet and toes. Pause here for a couple of breaths and just allow yourself to be in your body. Even if it's just for a brief moment, can you just let yourself be? Only when you're ready, gently bring the palms to touch at heart center. Keep the eyes closed. Take a couple of moments to observe how you feel. Notice your mind, your head space. What does it feel like? Draw your awareness to the body, maybe specifically checking out the region of the neck. Notice how you feel. And then eventually turn into your emotional well-being. Notice the emotion you feel in the moment. And gently give yourself a smile. Really thank yourself for taking the time to practice today. And thank you very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everyone else who joined in here. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.